Okay, excited to be here. Hi guys, I'm Shaun. I'm the senior team manager here at Volsungur. This is the first time I've actually been at one of these youth intakes myself to see how everyone organises things. So just bear with me while I just get used to it. But what I think we'll do here, based on these email reports I've been getting, hopefully we've got next Joe Nadas or Basaro Gaze or Lasana Dumbi is with us here today. So if we can get the really, really top talents, if you can organise that, put them over on the left, leave the maybes maybe in the middle, and if you can just come closer. For future Iceland related development group, the fire group. Can we put the fire group over there, please? The fire group, yeah, the fire group over there. Woo! Okay, and go. Right, this is exciting. Wait, what's going on? Why are they all on the right? But they were good grades, and you told me it was going to be good. Like, what's happened?
It didn't turn out as planned.
Oh, well. Okay, well, just send me that guy on the left, and he'll come train with us for the Champions League playoff, okay?
Yes, boss.
And you maybe just stay a little bit to the right of the fire group and just think about what you've done, okay?
Yes, boss.
Awesome. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 134 of Husavik Heroes here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and coming up in today's episode, as you can see on screen, we've got our youth intake. That won't take too long, and we've also got a Champions League playoff against Lokomotiv Moscow, where hopefully we can make our way through to the group stages yet again, and we'll have a draw for that competition at the end of the episode. So if you are looking forward to this one, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But we have had our youth intake off the back of yesterday's episode, the third qualifying round, a very comfortable win there against Sparta Prague. If you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it in the top right corner, and this is what our youth intake looks like, as you might have been able to tell by my reaction in the intro. Not quite as good as I was hoping for. A few episodes ago, we showed you guys the intake preview. There were lots of quite nice grades in terms of various positions, so I thought this could be a little bit better than they suggested in that preview, but it's still been a bit more disappointing. Only 1.5 star rated, a below average intake, albeit we do have a potentially quite promising striker on our hands in Bjarni Olafsson. 3.5 star potential, which for us these days is actually quite good potential. That's a little bit higher than someone like Matthias Aguirre did have when he was at the club. So he looks like certainly the best player who has come through this youth intake here this season at Volsungur, but really he is the only standout. We've got lots of players there on 2.5 star potential or lower. The other guy we might sign is a centre-back in Alfonso Cruz with that 3-star potential. As I said, he is a centre-back, and with that name, he is not just Icelandic, but does have a little bit of Portuguese in him as well. I think those are the two players we will definitely sign out of this year's youth intake, but apart from that, not too sure who else we might sign, because as you can see, we go down a bit further into the red, or as I said, the fired area, and these guys, not much potential there at all. I don't think we're going to be signing any of that large number of players. So that's again a little bit of a disappointing youth intake here at Volsungur, albeit one quite promising prospect there in Bjarni Olafsson, albeit he plays striker, and that is an area after our rating of the next gen list this past season that we do have now quite a bit of depth in our under 19 squad. But the main focus of today's episode is the Champions League playoff. We are taking on Russian opposition in Lokomotiv Moscow. For current news reasons, we're not going to give the team from Russia too much airtime in today's episode, but they are a 4-star reputation club, which is a half-star higher than what we are here at Volsungur. But based on the fact, of course, we made the semi-finals of the Champions League last season, we're able to beat teams like Bayern Munich. You would like to think this is a team that we can beat fairly comprehensively and make our way through to a Champions League group stage draw later in today's episode. But before we do get into the first leg of this one, which is our home leg, we do have a little bit of transfer update for you guys. Yesterday, late in the episode, we did put a bid in for the next gen winner in Cruz Zamorano. In the end, he's actually decided to sign a new contract with Tigres, and his release clause has been increased by about £1 million more, which isn't a great amount of money. We could still trigger that deal, but now he only wants to join us as a star player, and we can't quite offer that to him, I think, at the moment, so we'll just wait and see there with Cruz Zamorano, who we were potentially going to sign at the end of yesterday's episode. He has opted to stay in Mexico, the next gen winner. But we did also get some more money added to our transfer budget as well, which could have actually covered that extra cost there for Cruz Zamorano if he did want a reasonable contract, and that is because John Matthews, our former right back here at Volsungur, the Irishman, he has gone from Hertha Berlin to Dortmund. We had a next sale clause when we did sell him to Hertha Berlin, so that is a big transfer there. One of our former players, he has gone to Borussia Dortmund for a fee of 9.5 million. That meant that we did get around about the 4 million mark for that one. That bumps our transfer budget around about the 11 million pound mark now at the end of this current Icelandic window, which did end a few episodes ago. So we certainly have a lot of money to spend in the next transfer window should we need to. And that's not considering the fact that at the moment the board haven't put any finances aside for this next transfer window, which does open in February. We do have just about 10 million. In fact, it is not quite 11, but 10.2 million there sitting in the transfer budget. But we do have 59 million sitting in our bank account. If we can make the group stages of the Champions League this season, that should go up around about the 70 million marks. You'd like to think we might end up with quite a substantial transfer budget for this next window, which does open in February here in Iceland. That could be a very, very good one, of course, off of making the semi-finals in the Champions League last season. But the other thing we need to cover off before we do get into this first league against Lokomotiv Moscow is the injury situation. We've had to deal with quite a few in the opening rounds of Champions League qualifying so far, especially in yesterday's episode, with notably Levan Tam and Jonada both out. Levan Tam is back. Jonada might be available for the second leg. He's about 1 week away from recovering from his groin strain. That means he's probably not going to feature here in this last qualifying round, but that does mean we are pretty close now to full strength, with that being our only injury, so we can put out our best 11 with just that one change. Sakhi still up front for us with the absence of Jonada, the promising striker we did sign on a loan to buy from Raja Casablanca in Morocco. But apart from that striker situation, we are at full strength. Fabio Mariano is going to be the backup on the bench for us on this occasion, and it should hopefully be a team capable of getting us through to the group stages of the Champions League, after most of them got us through to the semi-finals of this competition last season. And we'll come back shortly and hopefully get off to a good start here at the Laugardars Vola against Lokomotiv Moscow. And 2 minutes into this first leg of the Champions League playoff, we do have the first highlight, a throw-in around the halfway line. We do go on the attack here against Lokomotiv, who are in the purple and white. We are in our green home uniform. Levan Tam puts that in there for Zimmerman. Slide tackle, no penalty, which is probably rightly so. We try and put a ball there far post, falls to Boreal. Zimmerman down for Rakassan. It forces a good save. Sakhi puts that in the back of the net, but someone there is offside. An early chance, but it does remain 0-0 after 5 minutes. And about 10 minutes off the back of that first highlight, we do have another, and yet again we are on the attack here down the right-hand side. Zimmerman inside the box yet again, plays that back to Levan Tam. Hopefully we can get on the score sheet nice and early in this one and start to build a nice comfortable advantage to take into the second leg. Good chance there for Traore, just puts that over the bar, still 0-0. And not too long off the back of that good chance there to Chaka Traore, it is a goal kick here for Lokomotiv Moscow. They do keep possession from it and try and get going forward. And there's a good chance there for their striker, but thankfully that is a very, very weak shot there into the hands of Husavik, and there might be something else to come here from this highlight. You would hope so, considering how weak that shot was there by our Russian opposition. And Ramadan just holds the ball up there, plays that out to Levan Tam, takes his time to pick out Nicholas Zimmerman around the halfway line. Nice ball in behind there for Sakhi. This time he puts it away. He is onside, and just shy of the 20-minute mark, we do get a 1-0 lead here in the home league, and hopefully we can start to really kick on from this point forward. We started to exploit them here down the right-hand side. We've been doing that quite successfully so far from the limited highlights that we have seen. Nice ball there from Zimmerman for Sakhi. Too much pace, puts that bottom left corner, and it's 1-0 Volsungur. And only a few minutes off the back of that first goal, yet again it is a goal kick here for Lokomotiv, but Basaro Gay does win the header in the air, and we do get up to Kalen Rakassan and now Kenny Boreal. This time we're going to attack them down our left-hand side. It looks like a little bit fortunate to get the ball back there through Kenny Boreal, but we play that back to our defence and look to build again down this left-hand side. Boreal just taking his time, plays that back to Elias Anderson. Forward there to Kalen Rakasan. Some good short passing as we start to move Lokomotiv around. Good chance there for Zimmerman. Just puts it wide, still 1-0 at the 21-minute mark. And 5 minutes off the back of that most recent highlight, yet again we start off here with a goal kick to Lokomotiv, and yet again we win the ball back there with that standard defensive line, which does seem to work quite well for us. And this time we're going to try and attack them again down the right-hand side. Doumbia picks out Rakasan in there for Chaka Traore. He thumps that into the top left corner, and just past the halfway mark here of this first half of the first leg, we do go 2-0 up, and it looks like we're looking a little bit superior here to our opposition. Doumbia there puts a nice ball over the top for Rakasan in a lot of space, finds Traore. It's a simple shot for him, rockets it top left corner, and it's 2-0 Volsungur. And now to the half-hour mark, we do have a corner here. Lasana Doumbia near post. Ramadan just puts that wide and high, still 2-0 at the half-hour mark here. And yet again, we have to wait about 5 minutes for our next highlight. Yet again, it's a cornering. Yet again, Ali Ramadan goes quite close there, but still 2-0 with 10 minutes left in the first half of the first leg. And that is half-time in the first leg of this Champions League playoff. It's been a very impressive half from us as well. Lokomotiv yet to really fire a shot apart from that really weak one that they did have at one stage there in the first half, but we scored 2 goals and look to be dominating this one quite well. We'll tell the boys they're doing well, but could potentially do better, and hopefully we can build on this lead throughout the second half. And at the 57-minute mark, we have our first highlight here of the second half, but yet again it does start here with a goal kick for Lokomotiv, albeit this time they do get possession back off it. Romario around the halfway line, plays a ball over the top there for Solyov. He tries to get in behind here on the left-hand side, plays that back, but Basaro Gay does some quite nice work there to get possession back for us, and hopefully we can launch an attack from the back here and try and get the scoreline out to 3-0, a little bit more comfortable to take into that second leg of this one. And Chaka Traore now is on the ball, plays a nice ball over there for Zimmerman, takes a nice first touch to just take that around the goalkeeper enough, puts it in the bottom left corner, and that makes it 3-0 here, just shy of the hour mark, and we're starting to pull away nicely here in this Champions League playoff, as you would expect, of course, from a semi-finalist from this competition last season. Nice touch here from Zimmerman. The goalkeeper can't quite get to it. He puts it away to make it 3-0 with a half hour left. And immediately off the back of that goal and 2 substitutions from Lokomotiv, we do have another highlight from the restart. Lokomotiv looking to play out from the back and try and get back into this one, because a 3-0 deficit might be a little bit too much for these guys to overcome. But we get the ball back there through a header by Ali Ramadan and start to try and get something going here from the halfway line, albeit playing it back to our defence at the moment. But now Nicholas Zimmerman starts to look to go forward off the back of scoring our third goal. But yet again, we are forced back, but now start to go forward here through Levan Tam. Takes his time, plays that back to Ali Ramadan. Now Lasana Doumbia, good short passing, just keeping possession, looking to tire out Lokomotiv here, I think it is fair to say. Zimmerman gets that away to Doumbia despite being pressed quite high. It is now Doumbia that finds Traore, and he rockets that into the bottom right corner. I said Doumbia, should have said Boreal, but nonetheless, that is a good quick fire double from us here in the second half, and that makes it 4-0 with a half hour left. And already this might be too big of a bridge to climb here for Lokomotiv. Nice little fizzer there from Traore into the bottom right corner, and we are 4-0 up with 30 minutes left. And up to the 65-minute mark, we are going to make our first few substitutions. At this time, we do have Basaro Gay on a red heart. We'll also take off Levan Tam coming back from injury for Ian Carlo, and Karel Giroux will be coming on for Gay with about 24 minutes left and a 4-0 lead in the first leg. And shortly off the back of those substitutions, it is another goal kick here for Lokomotiv. This time it is Nicholas Zimmerman winning that ball back for us in the air, which is a little bit unexpected, but nonetheless, we do get possession back and yet again take our time here to play out from the back. Can we get the scoreline out to 5-0 here in the first leg? That might make the second leg almost being not too relevant here with a scoreline that much in our favour. But Anderson back to Giroux, and now all the way back to Husavik. So we're taking our time in this one to play out from the back, but it does seem to be working so far here against Lokomotiv, who haven't offered too much in their attack so far in this one. But Ian Carlo, nice ball forward there to Zimmerman. That's a nice curving ball that for Adam Sakhi. He puts that away in the bottom right corner. We'll just have to wait and see here what VAR does have to say, but I think that looked fairly good, and indeed VAR does agree, and we get the 5-0 scoreline that we often call off the second leg from commentary with if we can get out to that scoreline. Nice ball there from Zimmerman. Sakhi puts that away for his second of the game, and we are now 5-0 up with still 20 minutes left. And now at the 71-minute mark, we do have a corner here. We try and put that towards the near post, but it is dealt with by Elias Anderson. Is going to go back and tidy up. Can we extend this 5-0 lead and really make sure that we don't need to bother too much with the second leg of this one? We should already really be in a position to be making our way through to the group stage of the Champions League. Yet again, Zimmerman switches that out to Kenny Boreal just inside the box, tries to put that in there for Sakhi, I believe, but it is dealt with, albeit it is cleaned up again by our defence. And yet again, Kenny Boreal is in possession, plays that one back to Karel Giroux over there for Zimmerman on the volley. He puts that one in the bottom right corner. Yet again, we are going to have to wait here for a VAR check. This one might be a little bit closer than the one before, which Adam Sakhi did score, but we wait for VAR, and again the goal is awarded, and we go out to a 6-0 lead here in the home first leg of this Champions League playoff. This has been a very, very good performance here, pretty much sealing our place in the group stage already. 6-0 up with still just over 15 minutes left of the first leg. And with 12 minutes left, we are going to make our last substitution. Lassana Doumbia has gone down to a red heart in terms of bench midfield options, with Karel Giroux already on there. I think Fabio Mariano will come on here for Doumbia, but we still hold a 6-0 lead with just over 10 minutes left of the first leg. And we've just got into injury time of the first leg of this Champions League playoff. In the end, a very, very comprehensive performance. We pick up a 6-0 win there. That should really seal things and make sure we are going through to the group stages. 2-0 at halftime. We pick up 4 goals fairly early on there in that second half and pick up a 6-0 win. As I said, I think with that scoreline, what we'll do is come back shortly, show you guys the highlights from the second leg, because really not much chance that Lokomotiv can turn that around, and we'll get into the group stage draw off the back of that. And we are back about to get stuck into the group stage draw for the Champions League, but before that, I did say we'd show you guys the highlights from the second leg, but there were so many goals, I think we'll just skip it because we picked up a win in the second leg by 9-1. 6 goals there by Adam Sakhi. He is proving to be quite the fill-in there for Jonata, who did come off the bench in the second half, albeit we didn't actually score a goal in the second half once Jonata did come on. Adam Sakhi picking up 6 goals inside the first half on his own, 2 to Doumbia, as well as 1 to Nicholas Zimmerman. And we pick up a 9-1 when we did give away a goal at the 17-minute mark, but we're already up 4-0 at that stage. And then Adam Sakhi continued to score 4 more goals off the back of that. Lassana Doumbia actually missed a penalty in the second half off the back of a second yellow card to one of the Lokomotiv Moscow players, but it made no difference. All the damage done there inside the first half. As I said, it might be a little bit tricky to get rid of Adam Sakhi for that first game of the group stages in tomorrow's episode, considering he's just scored 6 goals there in a Champions League qualifier, but a 15-1 win on aggregate does mean we are through to the group stage draw of the Champions League. Also, around the last few episodes, we did pick up a 3-1 win in the quarterfinal of the Malka-Bikkerin against Phil Kira. I think I forgot to touch on that in yesterday's episode. That means off the back of this, we do have a semi-final coming up against second division Protorakjavik. So we should hopefully as well have a Malka-Bikkerin final coming up in tomorrow's episode alongside our first game of the Champions League group stages. And we also bet Efterelding 9-0 with our rotation team in between that playoffs. So some very good results coming in and around today's episode, and that means that we are still yet to drop any points in the league, albeit HK have gone above us by 1 point, but we do have 2 games in hand on those guys, albeit we have actually yet to play them in the league so far this season. We've got a double header against those guys coming up fairly soon, and that could be very important in deciding who does win the league title, but it is looking like it's going to be us and HK in Champions League qualifiers for the next European season. But it is time now to see who we do get in our Champions League group. Yet again, we are in the second pot. That worked quite well for us last season, so hopefully that will be the case again this season. We'll have a quick look through which teams are in which pot. Pot 1 is Real Madrid, Manchester City, the defending champions, and PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Sociedad being the Europa League winners, Juventus, Ajax, and Porto. Honestly, Bayern Munich down in terms of those rankings. I think we can handle any of those teams based on what we did last season. So if we could just avoid Man City, Real Madrid, or PSG, I would be quite happy with that one. In terms of our group, pot 2, we are in amongst some very good teams down there. Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, AC Milan, Inter Milan, RB Leipzig, and Barcelona. So we're just hanging in there as a pot 2 team. In pot 3, we have Dortmund, Lille, Sevilla, Napoli, Ostende, PSV, Shakhtar, and Partizan. Most of those teams I would like to think we could get the wood over at this stage of the save. And down to pot 4, the teams who we absolutely should be beating. We have Hertha Berlin, Benfica, Midtjylland, Lask, Hammarby, Montpellier, Ross County back in the Champions League yet again, and so are Sochi out of Russia. So those are the teams in each pot. We'll quickly run through the first draw of this, or should I say the first pot, and see which groups we would like to get. As I said, probably would like to avoid teams like Manchester City, Real Madrid, and PSG, but apart from that, I'll be quite happy with any other group. We go to Group A and Inter Milan get Manchester City, so that's already one of the teams taken who we did not want to get, and that is a great start to the group draw for this year's Champions League. We are paired up with Ajax, a team who we did beat on our way to the final in the Europa League a few seasons ago, I do believe, so they are definitely beatable for us. That is a good start to this group draw. Real Madrid get Arsenal, so Matthias Aguirre cannot escape Real Madrid despite leaving us at the end of that past European season. Real Sociedad get Chelsea, PSG, AC Milan, Juventus, RB Leipzig, Bayern Munich get Manchester United. Of course, that is the team they defeated before we bet them in the quarterfinals last season. So that is a tasty group there in Group G already. In Porto get Barcelona. Dortmund go into Group A. We get Napoli in Group B. They were a bit of a tormentor of us in the early stages of European football in this save down in the Conference League, albeit it has been a long time since we played them. Now, hopefully, we can get the better of those guys as well. So at the moment, we've got Ajax and Napoli in our group. Partizan go Group C. Lille go into Group D. Shakhtar Group E. Group F is Sevilla. Ostende go in that tough group with Bayern Munich and Man United and PSV alongside Porto and Barcelona. And now down to the fourth pot, Hammarby go into Group A. We get Sochi out of Russia, so we still can't avoid the Russian teams, but nonetheless, that should be a team that we are well and truly capable of beating. So I'm quite happy with that group, all things being considered, and we make our way through the rest of these groups. Ross County are in the same group as PSG, so yet again, I think those guys are in a fair bit of trouble after they did not pick up a single point in the group that they were in alongside us last season. Midtjylland go in that tough group alongside Bayern and Man United, and that will leave last to go in that bottom group with Barcelona, Porto, and PSV. So that is what the Champions League groups do look like for this upcoming season. Now, I think it's fair to say we've got quite a nice group there alongside Ajax, Napoli, and Sochi. We'll have a quick look at these teams. Sochi, not the team that you'd expect to be in there from Russia, it is fair to say, but they are a 3.5-star reputation club, exactly the same as us, 100% a team we should be capable of beating both at home and in the away game. Napoli, as I said, a team who did cause us some troubles in the early stages of our European campaigns in this save down in the Conference League. These days they are a 4-star reputation club with Espirito Santo as their manager. It's been a long time since we've played them. I'd like to think these days we might have the wood over those guys as well, albeit the away game there might be just a little bit tricky at the Diego Maradona Stadium. And then Ajax are the other team in our group, a team which we did beat in the Europa League knockouts a few seasons ago, also 4-star reputation, and should be a team, hopefully, who we can at least beat in the home league. And hopefully, with all those wins, we can make our way through to the knockouts of the Champions League yet again. So as I said, I think that's quite a nice group for us there in the Champions League this upcoming season. Hopefully, again, we can make our way through to the knockouts and hopefully in top spot as well. But that will do it for today's episode. We'll come back tomorrow, play the first game of that group stage of the Champions League, a big one as well at home to a Napoli team who have had the wood over us so far in this save, albeit it has been quite a while since we have played those guys. And hopefully as well, we will also have an Icelandic Cup final playing second division opposition in our semi-final. Hopefully we will make our way through that and play the winner of the other semi-final there between Breidablik and HK. So that's what should be coming up in tomorrow's episode. But if you did enjoy today's one, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. And until tomorrow, where we start the group stage of the Champions League against Napoli, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.